Huh?
Blessed be your name.
I'm the makeup artist. You must put it though.
It's
I'm the
also
makeup
very
artist. My name is Debbie.
I'm saying like this.
Is this mine?
So,
The drink, yes.
let me tell y'all something, right?
I don't like cornbread.
Cornbread?
What part of the nation are you from?
Why don't you move
Nigeria.
the thing so this
There's
thing's
nothing
not
like
in the
cornbread
way?
in Nigeria.
What? Ah, perfect. Hi guys.
No, y'all know I cannot say like this. Why?
I didn't know you were going to lay down too.
I'll sit down. Sit down.
No. It's not doable.
Cause it'll be like with us, you just see it like this, but with Songi it'll be like.
Oh my god.
I can't, man. Okay, hi guys. Welcome back to Preacher's Child. So today we'll be doing Would You Rather, the Bible edition. And Songi's trying to tell you that she's blessed. We're all blessed, amen? Thank you.
Me much less so than they, but.
They didn't ask blessed with what? They said blessed.
Yes.
So we're all blessed, amen? Thank you.
What is this cornbread here? Okay, let's put it here.
So today we'll be doing Would You Rather, Bible edition, taking it to the church. So we'll ask a series of questions and we'll pick what we would have rather done. Yeah. So, number 1. Would you rather have seen the Red Sea being parted or Jesus walking on water? It's kind of hot.
Who goes first? Songi, so.
Okay, for me, I think the sea being parted because that miracle still fascinates me up to now. Just how the waters like stood. And let me tell you, because like I mentioned, I think the time I was sharing back was like it's a 2-in-1 situation because not only was the sea parted, but they walked on
Dry ground,
Dry
yes.
ground.
There was no
And
water on the floor.
Normally, when this, like, if the sea is parted, which means it's a little deeper, so which means I don't know. I've heard pastors say the ground had to be come
Like
up
level, yeah.
to where they can, you know. So I would the sea being parted. I just want to see the
I don't know, honestly. I at first I was like Jesus walking on water, because first of all that means I get to see Jesus.
True.
Period. Like and I don't have to be dead, so that's awesome. I don't know, and seeing him walking on water, I don't know. I think because my question is always like, is he walking on like the surface of the water as if it's like a solid ground, or is like his feet just floating on the water like a boat? Like that's what, and that I want that question answered. So that's why.
Before you ask
Like,
the
does
question.
the water become solid, or does his feet just have like the buoyancy like a boat or something? So that's my question.
I would say Red Sea because of the whole dry ground thing. Like that's like really, really fascinating. You know, like when you pour water on the floor, or water is like, there was water recently in a certain place and it's like still moist or something, but they said the ground was dry, like nothing was there. Like, man. And then the little tunnel type thing, you're walking through water. That's
Like,
amazing.
water is standing.
Yeah, like you look left and right and there's water next to you.
Y'all have seen The Prince of Egypt, right? The movie?
Mm-hmm.
You know how when the water came up and then like the sea animals were still floating by? That would be freaking cool. Like, I think, because there was like, when they were walking through there in the movie, there was like a whale that was still in the ocean,
Where are my
but
glasses?
like.
Low-key, sorry.
You have glasses?
I do. Never mind.
Where?
No, I'm going for my sunglasses. Oh.
Sunglasses.
Yeah.
She's too cool for us. Wow. Wow.
Hey. Okay.
Okay, number 2.
She gonna stunt for the rest of the video. Let me just.
Where's my own stunting utensil?
I can't flip my hair. I can flip this scarf though.
Oh, she's about to.
Hey.
No fun.
It didn't work. Anyways, number 2.
Oh, there's most of the questions.
I didn't
Oh my
lose it.
God.
Hey. Okay.
It's right here.
Okay, number 2.
Number 2. Would you rather know what type of fruit Adam and Eve ate, or know what Jesus wrote in the sand when people wanted to stone the lady who'd commit adultery?
I want to to know what Jesus wrote in sand. And the only reason why I say that is
Because you
because...
think you're going to be petty?
No, that would be funny too. But it's because, okay, so I was watching, I don't know if it was like a Bible show. No, it was the one, didn't Pastor show one on the video of that? Like a little clip in church?
Yeah.
But in the video, he had did a little doodle. Like, it wasn't like he wrote a word. He just drew a little picture like, la-da-da-da-da. I want to see, like, was he just like completely ignoring everybody? Like, okay, y'all about to get on. Let me count to 10. Like that was his woosah. And then I want to know. That's what I want to know.
Me too. I think I want to know what Jesus was writing on the sand.
Yeah, I say that too because it says know what type of fruit Adam and Eve ate. I feel like if we know what type of fruit and that fruit still like exists today,
Like let's
we
say
wouldn't want to eat it.
That fruit will become
like
a
mango.
witchcraft.
Yeah,
nobody wants to eat mango anymore.
Nobody eats mango anymore.
Nobody's gonna want to eat mango. Like, do not eat the way people. Okay, people don't eat pork because they believe that the demons, whatever, the one that went in the pig. So after today, so I'm thinking if we find
like they're just gonna be in every mango from now on.
If we find out what fruit Adam ate, whatever,
serpent's fruit.
All the vegans are gonna go left. So,
oh Lord, would you rather have dinner with Moses or with Paul?
Paul, hands down, Paul. Because I got questions.
No,
what is this thorn in your side? Is it your blindness or is it sin? I want to know. Is it sin? And then what sin was it? I want to know.
How do you handle it? How do you handle it? Like,
okay, you didn't get married. Can you explain to me how you can flee sexual temptation?
Oh
That's
yes.
We being real here. Like, I just being real. Like, for real. Like, just for real.
Seriously. And persecution, like, how do you handle your relatives not, just
Or them in-laws.
yeah, right.
Sorry, we had some technical difficulties.
It was the devil. It was the devil.
But yeah.
The devil and the village people.
Going back to Paul.
Yeah.
Can you see that she took my cup?
I know.
Anyways.
I really like so many questions. Just
Kind of hot.
man.
Use your.
I don't think.
I thought she did that better than me.
I don't think it would actually be dinner. I need it for a sleepover. Let's
Right.
just do a night video.
Can you just stay for the
like
week?
for the whole night, bro? Just download everything in my spirit. I want to know. Just be open.
Yeah,
and I think he would be so open. Like Paul seems to have
He'll
been
be
a
like,
very
sis.
open person. Like tell you everything just from A to Z.
My thing is, Paul, if you were to write a letter to me, what would your letter say? Am I a Corinthian? Am I an Ephesian? Am I a Hebrew? Like, which one of these things would apply to my life?
I know.
And then how do I change it?
So
Yeah, so Paul. Yeah, Paul.
Yeah, Paul, man.
For sure, hands down.
Yeah.
Next question. Would you rather have been able to feed the 5,000 people with 5 loaves and 2 fish or heal someone's blindness? I think heal someone's blindness.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, this whole food thing, I feel like, yeah, I mean, like the food, like, I don't know, people can't find their next meal, can't do this, can't do that, but I mean, I just feel like someone's blindness, like, you've, like, healed them for life, like, that 5 loaves and 3 or 2 fishes, that's one meal, that's for that day, but that blindness, that's like their whole life, hopefully, by God's grace, after you've healed them. I mean, the happiness, the joy, I mean, so yeah, for me, the blindness.
Yeah, me too. Blindness.
Same.
Because that's a transformation in its own. Just somebody going from black to white.
Yeah.
Yep.
Have you ever seen those videos? I always talk about video. Clearly, I watch a lot of videos and movies, but those videos where like somebody gets their hearing for the first time, or they get their vision. Like there's one that's going around Facebook. A lady in Sicily was baptized, and after she was baptized, she got her vision back.
Yeah.
Those kind of things, like the reaction that they have, is really life changing.
Yeah,
you feed
the
people,
reaction.
even if it's a meal that they never knew they were gonna have, like.
It's
that day. It's instant gratification, and then after that, years down the line, they might be like, "Oh, yeah, that did happen." Yeah. But nobody will ever forget that they were blind and now they can see. Yeah. Like, it's even in amazing
That's like
ways.
powerful. That's like mind blowing.
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
Next question: would you rather spend 1 hour in heaven or 1 week with Jesus on earth?
That one was a hard question.
It is a hard
Oh,
question.
really? So for me, the way I thought about it, it was kind of hard, but I chose 1 hour in heaven because the way I see it is like, okay, we're all running this race, and like to an extent, low key, we can't really say. I mean, we know the end prize, heaven and hell, or heaven or hell, but some people still don't believe heaven and hell is real. But I feel like if we could like just see heaven for 1 hour, don't you think it'll change your mindset on like how you do things? Like, okay, look, this is how heaven looks. Oh my gosh, this and that, and you know the end goal. You know what you're gonna win if you follow God's will, everything. So you know what you're running for. You know, I mean, you know what you're risking and everything.
I think just knowing the fact that, because the other issue is people think heaven does not exist.
Exactly. Yeah.
So having that 1 hour in heaven just brings it to reality. Like, yeah, this thing is actually real. Like, heaven is there for real. Like, it is there. So. Yeah, I think I would want that hour. Sometimes I pray God to show me heaven. I do.
I'm telling you, yeah.
I ain't praying that prayer.
No, just to show me.
Because look, why you saying no? Okay, so why you saying
not
that?
for me to die.
Okay, because you gotta clarify.
Not for me to die, but just for
Because
me
the
to
people that say, "Oh, I saw heaven," they were dead for like 3 days, and then they came back to life, and they tell stories about heaven and hell. Listen. I don't want to die, Jesus.
No,
just
I don't want to
show
die.
me a glimpse in a dream.
But I've heard
something.
stories of people say, "Oh, I went to heaven and I came back." So I'm just like,
that's because
okay.
they died.
Well, okay, in a
But
dream.
they came back.
No,
They came back. That's fine.
In
They
a
came
dream
back.
or in a vision when I'm sleeping.
Okay.
By the time I wake up, I'm still normal.
Because you saying an hour in heaven. That what if those 3 days of death was an hour in heaven? Like we don't know.
I was gonna say that.
Meanwhile, your family is over here crying and all that. So I'm like,
and God will comfort.
I think I want to spend time with Jesus, and the reason why. Okay, I have 2 reasons why. Because I feel like partially because heaven was my first choice. But then I'm like, that goes into the seeing before I believe, and our race is really built on faith in general already. Like having faith that what we believe is true. Mm-hmm. If I see heaven, then I no longer need faith because I know it's there.
Oh, that's true.
But if I know if I can spend a week, a week with Jesus? If I can spend a week with Jesus, He can show me how to do things that I don't know how to do. Seeing heaven would make things more real, I guess, more solid, I guess. But being with Jesus would actually help me in developing the way that I live while I'm here. Because being there an hour in heaven, what are we gonna learn that's gonna help us when we come back? Yeah, we'll know it's real, but then what's the effect that it has on the way that we operate in our daily lives? If we're still struggling with whatever we were struggling with before we went to heaven, then what's the point? That's what I thought about it.
I guess it's correct.
Right? Like I like your answer. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay. Would you rather? Ooh, there's a little plot twist here. Would you rather have a plague of boils?
Oh yeah, I had. Why this question?
Wait.
Why? Before she finishes, I reject it in Jesus' name.
And the people shout,
Amen.
Hey.
Oy. Gotta be like, oh really? No.
Let me finish now.
Okay.
Or a plague of water that turned into blood.
I'll take the water for blood for 200, Alex.
Water that turned into wine.
You open the eyes of the blind. There's no one like you.
Hey. Okay.
Yeah. I don't want boils nowhere.
But yeah.
No.
Have you ever had a boil?
Yes.
Like, sometimes you get them under your arms.
Yeah.
No, it's like if you shave your arms with a razor.
Is it like all that closed area?
It's like like if you shave your arm with a razor and you get those microscopic cuts, and then your deodorant gets in and it's enclosed all day, it's sweaty. All that stuff creates like a little boil. Just one ruins my day.
I know.
I don't know. No.
I used to have
To
those
be
when
like
I was
Job.
young.
Imagine being like Job laying in a bed with boils.
It would take 4 people to fix it.
I'll take water into blood.
Because my body will still be okay. I can go.
As long as it's the blood of Jesus.
We just make it dry fast. No water.
Yes, exactly. Dry fast. When this is over, you'll listen.
Would you rather
Or
be
just
thrown...
drink juice. I'm serious. I'll bathe in juice, tomato juice. I don't know. I'll find a way. I'll make it work.
I know.
You ain't going swimming in no pool of blood either. Okay, go ahead.
Would you rather be thrown into a furnace or or the lion's den?
Ooh, that's tough.
Does the outcome still happen the same way?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Put me in the lion's den.
Well,
Cause I was thinking the possibility I would rather be burnt to a crisp than ripped apart by lions.
Exactly.
But if I'm still gonna come out, I would love to be up and close and personal with a live creation that God created that I know is not gonna eat me. I could just be like messing with them, looking at their teeth, like, oh my God, this is a lion. Like, I like animals, so I would love to be up close and personal with a lion, knowing that I'm not gonna be eaten. That would be awesome.
but you see, the thing is, he didn't know.
No, he knew.
He knew he wasn't gonna get eaten and everything.
I mean,
No, he just went in
He had the faith.
No, he went in with faith, knowing that God would protect him. He didn't know what God would do.
That's true.
He didn't know what God. He knew that God was gonna protect
Well,
him.
if the
he knew he
outcome
would
is
get
still
out.
the same,
He didn't know how.
If the outcome is still the same, I'm going for the lion's den.
If the outcome is the same, I think I'm gonna have to do the fire because getting ripped. Because I mean, like the lion. Okay, my thought at that point in time would be like, wow, lion eating me, tearing me apart. No, 'cause I mean, like his faith. He knew that he would get out. He knew God would go with him. He didn't know what was gonna happen. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to do fire, the furnace. Yeah.
That's not an answer.
I know, right?
That's not an answer.
Your answer.
Yeah.
I do not even know.
That's
think
not
God is
I'm
gonna
gonna
keep me cool. We gonna go in the fire.
Yeah, that lion. No. Okay, so now about vegetarians. Would you rather eat like Daniel, vegetables only, or Elijah and the widow, bread only?
Vegetables. Daniel. Yes, I would go.
Bread,
I would go with the vegetables. Yeah, because
Doesn't bread make you thick?
it's nourishment to my
Go
body.
with bread.
So,
Go with bread.
no,
I'll
but
take bread.
I'll take vegetables. Yeah.
I'll take bread. I can't say why, but I'll take bread.
Me too. I can't say why, but I'll take the vegetables. I'll do the vegetables because it's
I don't know any of the reasons, but because of my own,
No,
Uh-huh.
I'll take the vegetables.
I'm gonna do bread because
Okay.
because Daniel, the vegetables only, he was like tempted and tested, right? He had the king's food and everything. The
Yeah.
widow, she wasn't like tempted.
No,
No, that's all they had.
The widow, that's all they had.
That's all they had. So yeah,
You
but
can't-
Daniel, he had a choice to eat the king's food and the different chicken and the
Let me
whatever
clap for Daniel.
that God had. I mean,
Because
the
food
king
is
had.
temptation enough already.
Exactly.
So,
So,
yeah. Thank you, Daniel,
I
for keeping to
think
your
I'm
craft.
going to do the bread.
Who knows why I'm picking vegetables? Because I know there's still that extra food, so I might just go for it. That's the trick.
I'm going for the bread.
Bread for 200.
Because Loki, if I'm hungry and I have a loaf of bread, I'll eat bread. As long as it's the Nigerian bread from like Southwest.
Oh my
There you go.
God.
That's the type of bread I want. I don't want all those
That
old
one.
crusty
Or
bread.
Hawaiian, the Hawaiian
Hawaiian
bread.
rolls.
Oh, the one
Yes.
from the one from Walmart. What's the one that?
And that new one, that
That new one.
what's
We don't
the
even know
name?
the name. We don't even know how it
That
looks
bread's
like.
life,
Let
man.
me tell you.
I forgot the name.
Every
I'll show you
street
later.
of bread.
That bread? Oh,
No,
Lord.
no.
Add it to your list.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go with bread.
Yeah. Next.
And blue band. Just bring me some blue band.
butter.
Jesus.
They didn't say you.
Just bring me some
They
blue
didn't
band,
say that's
Jesus.
in butter.
That just let a cheese, something.
Next thing you were saying
Anyway.
bun cake.
It's bread.
I
know,
know,
right?
right?
Just
Would you rather live as long as Methuselah,
Mm.
969 years, or Jesus, 33?
I want to live
Hey.
up to 961 years. Only because I just want to have fun on Earth.
at
But you see
969
all your
years, time out.
friends, like
At 969,
what?
what fun you gonna be having at 969?
Almost
Hey,
1,000 years old.
Maybe those people were still strong. Their bones were still strong enough. I mean, Moses lived up to he was whatever age, but he still went to war and everything. He was still in his right mind. So
Okay, what did Methuselah accomplish in that 969
it doesn't
years?
matter. But you see
It
your
matters.
children grow and their
And then you see them
grandchildren,
die.
and then you are able to rip off their harvest. So like if it's now, you know,
So
you
you're still
drive
gonna
so
do it.
many cars, you live in so many houses.
Like I'm
You're
back and
in
forth.
love.
I don't want to
Look,
live that
I don't
long.
wanna say-
However, I don't want to want to die as early as 33
Me
because
too.
I'm 25, so that's literally.
I don't want to
like,
speak anything from my mouth right now because 33 is close.
That's
So
exactly.
961.
I got time.
You still got time.
961
We don't have that much time.
I don't.
So I'm not saying 33. I'm not speaking that into my life.
No, see, this 33.
I want to
right?
live as long as it takes for me to accomplish my purpose.
Amen.
Exactly, that's the thing.
Amen.
You see, this 33, in the 33 years he lived, he did so much with it and he accomplished his goal.
Yeah.
I believe that we're all here, like when, like, you know, when people die young, most of them, like if they're in the whole Christian life, you know, the people, some of them that died young. It's not that
they made an
it's
impact.
not that it's not that
true.
they died young and they didn't do anything.
Right, that's
they died
true.
young, but they made an impact in my life. They
That's
did this. They accomplished this. So I feel like if God puts you on earth for a certain amount of years, maybe at the time he takes you back home, you've done what you're supposed to do. Right. That is all I needed you there for. If he keeps you, okay, now let's say he kept Jesus for 969 years, what's he still going to be doing? After the 33 years, he's done what he needed to do. What are you still doing here?
Enjoy
It's that type of thing, right? So you gotta enjoy life and have
your children are taking care of you.
So that's how I see it. So I think I'll say the 33 years. Because I'm not 33 yet.
I'm going to go with however long it takes me to get to my purpose accomplished.
Accomplished, yes.
Hopefully, I'm not dead at 33 because I got some stuff I want to accomplish that, I don't know.
Okay, so, sorry. Don't swipe left. Don't swipe left when you have somebody else's phone.
Ain't nothing in there. First of all, there's nothing there.
Sorry. Is this guilty conscience that's doing her? She didn't say what I saw.
But
Anyways,
as you see, there's nothing there.
it was a selfie of her and I was just not expecting
Okay.
it. I was not expecting, that was all.
You're not expecting a
Why you
selfie.
getting heated?
You're not expecting a selfie of me in my phone,
I'm sorry.
huh?
Next!
If I go through
Would
your
you
phone, I'm not
rather-
gonna find a selfie of you. I'll find 5 million.
I know.
Okay, that's not the topic of today.
Anyway,
Thank you.
Come on, keep going.
Would you rather have the strength of Samson or the wisdom of Solomon?
Solomon.
Wisdom of Solomon,
Wisdom
because
of
this life we're
Solomon.
living right now,
I
man.
need wisdom.
This life we're
Give me
living now, man.
wisdom.
Strength is
to
not.
do things like
Strength
you
is not
do,
gonna help me
that
do
I
it.
Man,
look to
this
you.
life we're living right now.
Throwing boulders and moving
Oh
pillars,
my
they're not
God.
gonna help me
Give
with,
me wisdom,
with people
Jesus.
talking noise.
Oh,
To see things
so
like
with this life
you
we're living right now,
do.
please, the wisdom of Solomon for
That's what I
10,000.
mean.
I need
Yes.
wisdom.
Wisdom, direction, discernment. Ah,
All
God.
of it.
Please, that's what I want. Wisdom. Thank you.
Amen.
And last but not least, this was kind of thrown into the bunch. Would you rather get yelled at the way you dress to church or for not greeting an elder?
I think both of them are petty, honestly.
Like, seriously.
Cause like, okay, so I know that like African culture is like really rude if you don't greet your elders. The same way when you're raised old school. Like my grandma was born in the 20s, so if you walk into a room and you don't greet your elders, that's like a big no-no. You can get slapped in the face for that. But sometimes you're just preoccupied with things that are going on. You don't mean any harm. Like, it's not like you purposely was like, oh, my grandma's over there, I'm not talking to her today. No, you just like, oh my God, I got so much on my mind. And then all you hear is, did you not see me?
I know, right?
And then you're like, I'm sorry. Hi, grandma.
Like, you just walked past me. I'm standing right here. You didn't see me?
Exactly. And then it's like, I didn't honestly see anything or anybody. I didn't know I was here.
My mind
I didn't
was
know
just
I arrived. I
somewhere
thought I was
else.
still on the way. So I'm sorry. And then getting yelled at for what you wear to church, I feel like that one's petty too, because here's my thing. I have a sister who's very shapely. We have the same mom, same dad. I'm not understanding how she's shapely or not, but she's very shapely. It's hard for her to even wear anything.
I can testify to that.
My sister has
Anything.
I can
Very.
testify to that.
So,
y'all.
like, a dress that I'll wear. First of all,
Like-
what I found out today is that we weigh the same size.
Oh, wow.
We have the same mom and dad,
Oh,
weigh
that's
the
what she
same
was
size.
saying?
If we wear the same dress, nobody will say anything. Her, the walls of heaven will come down.
Like Jericho fell.
Seriously, why is she
Bang,
dressed
bang,
like that?
bang.
Why she can't help it. She can't help it. The
God
only thing
bless her.
she can do is like wear a tutu or something, like some kind of wide, like
you just need
skirt
something
that's
so
flare,
flare
that doesn't fit,
that does
and,
not come anywhere close to your body.
No body
exactly.
parts.
But even then, you still can see. So it's like, what do you want her to do? Because then if she comes in like
And
boy clothes, then you'll have a problem with the way she's like. Regardless, it's petty. At the end of the day, we're not there to look at each other's bodies. We're there to worship God. As long as her spirit is right, then why does it matter? It's not like she's coming in a bathing suit to the church.
And no one will understand the struggle. And sometimes when they see you dressed up, they want to just point fingers at you. But you just don't know what I
Can I be real?
through.
I feel like most of the time it's because they're jealous.
Bum.
One.
Bum.
Most of the time it's because they're jealous. Or the other thing I have, this is controversial, but if God created us to be naked in the first place, isn't reminding someone of how little they have on or how much they're not covered, that's like a reminder that Adam sinned in the first place. Like the fact that we're wearing clothes is because Adam sinned. So why do you have an issue just because you feel like somebody's wearing exactly? You feel like somebody's supposed to be wearing something like, I don't know, like like the Muslim whole cover hijab with the long sleeves, everything. Like, you don't want us to wear that. Like, if you see somebody in that, then there's a problem because you know they're Muslim. But then if you see a Christian wearing regular modern day clothes, there's a problem because they're not dressed conservatively enough. So it's like, no matter what, people have something to say, especially if you have a nice body. So people have something to say. So
especially with
all of it is petty. All of it is petty to me.
How about
let's yell at me if I'm not living according to the Bible.
Yes.
Let's do that. If I'm not living,
not even yelling, but constructive
criticism. Guide me, mentor me, have a conversation with me. Don't yell at me.
Don't tear me down.
Oh, here's a good one. Don't. What's that? My brain just went blank. Lord.
Well, when your brain comes back. So a friend actually said
no,
this.
stop judging people just because you cover your secrets better.
That's it. That's it. I got full time. Okay, let me tell y'all the main reason. One of the main reasons that young people are not in church anymore is because okay. So can I just?
I need that.
So
it's too.
Let me just say this. Like, people talk about sin, especially from the pulpit, or like the older people in church talk about sin as if it's something they're distant from. But the Bible says all have sinned and fallen short.
All.
But I feel like the Bible should have said all sin and fall short, because at what point do we become perfect and sinless in this life? None. So then here's the other thing, right? I'm just gonna use this as an example because this is one of the main examples that I guess young adults and youth are like kind of frustrated with, is like the sin of sexual temptation or whatever, fornication and things like that. We always hear, oh, you're not supposed to do that, don't do that, blah 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 blah. And then we ask, okay, how do you avoid sexual temptation, or how do you avoid fornication? It's like, oh, well, you just pray. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Pray and fast.
Like, pray and fast, okay, that's fine.
Take a cold shower.
But take a cold shower. But then it's like, okay, so then I'll be really wanting to ask, is that what you did? I might be it's not me being petty, but honestly, I don't want you to tell me something that didn't work for you. Because if it didn't work for you, then how are you going to expect it to work for someone else? And then here's my opinion. The people that say that, if you were to ask them, is that what you did? They will become offended. Why? Because a lot of them didn't abstain. A lot of them didn't flee fornication. A lot of them had sex until they married the person they were having sex with, and now it's not a sin anymore because they got married. That's just me on my soapbox. But I'm just saying, can we just be real? Listen, you can shun me all day, but it is what it is. Can we just be real and talk about real issues that we're having from a biblical standpoint, yes, but also a practical standpoint, because at no point is anybody going to be perfect. Like, and then what happens if somebody messes up and they don't abstain? Say somebody ends up fornicating and they're sorry, like, what's the next step? Are you going to bash them because they did it, or are you going to say, hey, let's start over? Just try again, do your best. Like, to me, it's like you make it seem like it's so easy to just be done with sin. But if it was that easy, there would be no need for Jesus in the first place. There would be no need for grace if it was that easy to get rid of sin. That's just my opinion. And I feel like a lot of young people are tired of being told or talked to about sin as if it's something that's easily abolished in your life, instead of being actually told, hey, sometimes you're gonna mess up and it is what it is. Grace is there. Just do your best not to do it again. And you probably gonna do it again, but just do your best not to do it again. I don't know how to explain that better, but anyway, that's just my
We
soapbox.
can't call like not to explain to person. Hallelujah.
Amen.
Thank you guys for joining me on this.
Put that
Would you
out. You don't have to.
Oh, but for your grace.
That's it.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Would You Rather. This is Arneta and this is Songi.
I love to eat.
I am totally
Yes,
Roli.
we know.
Invite me for dinner.
She said invite to me. Wow, is
I
she
am-
choosing spoon? Well, catch us next time. Don't forget to like,
Oh,
subscribe,
I'm
comment.
sure some of you are wondering what this is. I cut myself
Nobody's
with
wondering.
something.
Wait,
So
She got herself with an eyebrow razor.
Eyebrow.
Like,
Imagine.
I didn't know they were that dangerous. They barely cut my eyebrows. So I'm like, how?
I'm telling
Wow.
you. All right, guys. It was nice hanging out with you.
But
Until
she
next
gotta
time.
go.
Until next
Yeah. I
time.
gotta go.